Hello viewers, you joined me with a motorcycle we have all been waiting for since the first time it was unveiled in EICMA last year. We got a glimpse of it at the Bharat Mobility Auto Expo as well, and finally we are out riding it. This is the Hero Xpulse 210, and here's why it's better than the Hero Xpulse 204V. At first glance, it may seem that the styling has not changed much, but it has. And most of it are very useful functional pieces. For example, this grab rail at the front allows one to pull the motorcycle out of a sticky situation when required. The front fork has been changed to a thicker diameter. The tank shape has also been revised. So now standing up and riding this motorcycle is a lot easier, something that was cramped for tall people like me with the previous Xpulse. There is now a more robust grab rail at the back with the option to tie luggage as well. So touring is a lot easier on this particular motorcycle. And small details like the bodywork over here has also changed, giving this motorcycle a more touring enduro look than the complete off-road bike it was previously. The powertrain is a big step forward for the Xpulse family because this is the first time that this range of motorcycles is getting a liquid-cooled engine. This is also the first time that they're getting a 6-speed transmission. But this unit is not completely unfamiliar to us. This is the 210cc liquid-cooled engine that currently does duty in the latest generation of the Charisma, and it makes a decent amount of power and torque. But with the addition of the 6th gear, the 210 is easily the most superior motorcycle to be touring on when compared to its predecessor. With just under 25 horsepower and just about 20 Newton meters of torque, this motorcycle is not a significant upgrade in terms of performance. And one thing that sets it apart from the Charisma engine is the final drive ratio. In the Charisma, they use 42-teeth sprocket at the rear, whereas in this motorcycle, it uses a 46-tooth sprocket at the rear. And that is significantly lower gearing, which means that this motorcycle is very eager to accelerate out of corners and can be ridden in second and third gears on terrain like this. But in terms of performance, when compared to its predecessor, one does not feel the need to upgrade. It is easier to ride, yes, and the biggest change is the refinement. Now, as an Xpulse owner myself, I can tell you for a fact that this motorcycle is supremely more refined than the 204V. Even in 6th gear, at around 2000-3000 RPM, this motorcycle is easily capable of pulling from speeds below 35 kilometers an hour, and I think that is excellent for use in town. We are done with our day's riding of the Xpulse 210, and as you can tell, we have put this motorcycle through its paces both on the road and off it. And the most significant improvement that we can see is in the handling department. Let's start with the on-road manners. Today we've done a total of 150 kilometers, both road and on-road. On the road we have covered some twisty countryside roads and main highways as well. And on the highways, one thing was extremely evident. This motorcycle is one step more stable than its predecessor. And that we attribute to its larger diameter forks, longer wheelbase, and of course, the linked monoshock suspension at the rear. When carrying speeds in excess of 100 kilometers an hour, leaning into a corner and going over something like a bump on the road, this motorcycle regains composure much quickly than its predecessor and is more easy to ride fast, confidently. And I think that is a big step forward in terms of how this thing handles on the roads. When entering corners, it does take a little bit of effort to get this motorcycle turned in, but once turned in, it holds the line beautifully. And the front end is much more responsive than before and gives the rider extreme confidence to carry good lean angles and pace through a corner, even when running dual-purpose tires and suspension that has a lot of travel. To be specific, at the front we have 210 millimeters of travel and at the rear we have 205. But unlike before, the suspension setup is not entirely soft. It does absorb a lot of the bumps very easily, gives one excellent ride quality. But with the addition of the monoshock linkage, what happens is that the stroke itself is more progressive and more linear. And so there are no surprises whatsoever. And even if you do catch some surprises on the road, the motorcycle recovers almost instantly and with almost no effort. When riding off-road also, there is a noticeable increase in terms of stability, which I think in the grand scheme of things is a step in the right direction because it gives beginners more confidence and the ability to go that quickly without as much effort, which means they can ride faster for longer, and that is certainly a step in the right direction. Today our experience off-road was quite limited because we only got a chance to ride this motorcycle on trails that were between easy to intermediate difficulty, so we did not have a chance to test the full capability of the suspension. But one thing is for sure, it is a big step up from the predecessor, and wherever that motorcycle would bottom out, this motorcycle will still keep going. It's more difficult to bottom out, so bigger jumps, harder landings are all possible with the Xpulse 210's equipment. With the revised fuel tank shape, the new Xpulse seating position is extremely versatile. You can sit very close up to the tank like this and ride it motocross style, or you can sit back in a more laid-back position and enjoy the joys of touring. One of my biggest issues with the previous generation of the Xpulse was the position when riding standing up on the motorcycle, and that has been addressed very nicely in this edition, because now when standing up I have more control over the motorcycle and I'm not as cramped as I used to be. Furthermore, yesterday during the presentation, a Hero representative told us that they also have adjustable risers for this motorcycle. So the handlebar height can be adjusted to be closer to the rider, and the angle of the handlebar can also be changed either away towards the rider or away from him. If you are somebody who wants to start riding off-road and you need a motorcycle that is manageable for that, along with the ability to do some touring as well, then look no further. This is the motorcycle for you. The Xpulse 210 is an extremely good motorcycle, and we believe that anybody who buys it will have a lot of fun and a lot of good memories. But as motorcycle enthusiasts, we were expecting something in the range of a 250cc engine in this motorcycle, because at this stage to have a 210cc engine replacing a 200 seems like too little too late. That said, we also hope that Hero do something to reduce the weight, because at 170 kilograms for a 210cc motorcycle, this is not exactly light, and it is also drawing away at the 6 horsepower power advantage it has over its predecessor. Now, if there is something that we haven't told you, then do let us know in the comments and we will get back to you promptly. This is Joshua Varghese signing off for Bike India.